No, let's touch back on this family and communication thing, right? Like I'm assuming, I know both of you guys had kids, so both of you were in relationships before, right? You know, and you still you were early, early in your career. You 19, 20, 21. You know,
Right.
you had previous relationships though. Like, did you did you know? How did you know that your communication was bad? Was it because like your previous relationships you knew, like, or did you guys argue, or was it like I just want to get a point across, but I can't really get it across? Like, Jazz, like, how did you know that like we got to work on this thing? And like, and for you, what was that? Did y'all come up with like a strategy? Like, what does that look like?
I think like she touched on earlier, just different views and upbringings. I think I'm just like she said. She's the one that we get to argument. She would like to talk about it, find the root cause, resolve it. Me, hey man, I'm out of here,
Yeah,
man. We'll talk later. And then when I come back, I'm thinking it's supposed to be okay. That's just how I am. Like we good. Like we don't
so
need to talk about it. But I think she was the one like, no, I want to see what's going on. Like
got
she
it.
was real on me. Like no, we need to figure this out. Let's figure this out. No, let's not wait because even if I think everything's okay the next day, it's really not. She can be feeling a certain type of
Right.
way, and it'll dwell and lead up to other arguments and things like that. So
So let me ask you this now: did you change, or did she change, or was it like both of y'all changed?
Both of us.
Mm.
yeah,
And so that change occurred through what? Like just because it's somebody. I'm about to ask y'all a question because if somebody is looking at this right now, like
right.
they looking at this like we going through communication issues, and I'm just like you, Rob. Like I'm ready to just go. Like I'm cool on really trying to talk it out. Let me breathe.
Yeah.
Then somebody like Jazz is looking at this right now, like, but I want to talk it out.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about that is I don't know if neither person is wrong.
Right.
It's just perspective.
Right.
Because somebody is like, hey, I just want to breathe.
Right.
Somebody is saying like, why we gotta breathe though? Let's talk.
Yeah.
Like for that couple out there, because they watching y'all right now and they need help. They struggling right
I think
now.
it's clarification on the communication. Like, let's not miscommunicate. I think that's more because she'll be saying something, you too busy either talking over or vice versa or whatever. But I think that's getting the clarification of what's going on because she can be mad at something and I don't want to hear it. I walk out versus if I would have just listened, say what she had to say, combat it, and say what I had to say in rebuttal. She could have. Oh, okay, I understand. We not, you know what I'm saying, or the vice versa. It's just, I think clarification in the communication, getting the point across to the other person where they can understand, give them time to combat it, to respond and actually have dialogue. Just have dialogue between the two.
That's a gem, y'all.
Yeah,
Look,
dialogue.
check it out. That's a gem. He said, let's walk that through slow because
Right.
you just said some stuff in that, right? Like even if this is what I heard, because you teaching me right now, I'm learning. even if you guys have different perspectives on life, one person feels like they need to breathe, the other person feels like they need to talk. You saying, hey, even with those different perspectives, let each other get your full thought out
Exactly.
before you just walk away from it.
Right. That's all. And now from there, you can still go take a breath and do what you got to do, take a time, but at least get everything out because that's part of a lot of arguments. People will yell and scream and this and that. The other person barely listening, walking away, and that's the point.
But let me ask you this, Jazz, and I gotta ask you this because it's a guy still though like Rob, and I'm gonna have to ask your wife a question for a reason, right? It's a guy still like Rob. You telling me to talk it out? Well, you telling me that's different. Jim alert. You said you didn't say talk it out. You said listen. You telling me to listen, but I just want to walk away. How did you help your husband? Because you said both of y'all worked on it, right? But how did you help Rob know, like, hey, babe, I'm gonna let you breathe?
I mean, I have learned him over the years, and I learned that like when we do get into an argument, and I may want to talk about it, he's not the type of person he just want to talk about it right now. He needs to calm down first, and I had to figure out and learn to just let him be for a while, and he'll be maybe an hour or two, then he'll be back. He'll be cool after that. So I had to just learn myself and to just let him breathe, even though I want to talk about it right then and there.
Yeah.
Because that's how I am. Because I was wearing emotions on my sleeve, so I just got to talk about it right now. It was gonna bother me
Mm.
the entire night, but I had to also learn of how he is and that he needed to breathe just to come back and talk to me about it. So I just had to learn him more, and I didn't want it to make it seem like I was about me.
Mm.
It was both of us. We have to give and take. So he had to change also, because sometimes when I want to talk, he would have to say, okay, well, I'll listen to you. So I just had to learn to give them time. But he'll come back, but still.
For somebody that said she was nervous starting this podcast, she dropping gems, y'all. Like, I feel it through my body. I wish I was here right now, because the feeling that I just got, it just, my hair is just